Thank you guys for hopping on our call tonight. I'm super excited about tonight's call in particular because they say you should always find someone that has a strength that's one of your weaknesses. And I really feel like the topic that we're going to be talking about tonight isn't necessarily a weakness, but it's relatively new, a new theory from Beachbody that I haven't really portrayed much in our team pages. Mostly because I haven't really thought of the way to share it with you guys. So I thought, what better way than to have Angela on our call to really kickstart us and get us focused, not necessarily just on rank advancements, but also on other parts of the leadership ladder that she'll talk about. So 2 quick things before we start. One is that we have a sneak peek into coaching group called Coach Coffee Talk starting on Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So that's just a 1-hour event where you can invite people to it, and we'll be posting videos every 5 to 6 minutes where we're talking about different things about coaching. So what we do, the time commitment, how we get paid, the cost to join, everything that you can think of. And it's a 1-hour event, so make sure that you start inviting people now, start posting about it now. And then on Sunday after 10 a.m., anytime after that, just check in with all those people that you invite to see if they had a chance to view the videos. And I always get asked this, people can't join at that time, so can they join later? Yes, we'll keep, the event actually stays up unless we delete it, and I never delete the event. So they can join that at any time as long as you have the link to the event. So that's number 1. And number 2 is I've just posted maybe like an hour or 2 hours ago about Harry, my fiance, joining our business. And he's kind of been on the side for a long time. But now his job is now part-time, so we cut his hours back. And so he'll be helping me a lot with all of the activities, because I felt like I was getting to a point where it's a lot to manage all of the clients that I have and all of the coaches that I have and give the attention that I need to those people. And you guys have probably heard me say that my passion is working with my coaches, is working with you guys and helping you achieve whatever your goals are. And so that's really what I wanted, is more time to spend with you guys. And so Harry, who is joining us, he's just to my side right here, is going to be joining forces with me, and you might see him posting or, messaging you guys or something. But yeah, so he'll be working with me from now on. Come July, he'll actually start working with me full time once his temporary position ends. So that's really exciting. All right, and so now we have Angela LaRocco on our call. She is a married mom of 2. Her team is called Rock Nation, which I love that team name. She's a 5-star legend. She's a 2-star diamond. She's a former nurse, and I don't know if we have any nurses on right now, but we actually have, I think, 5 or 6 nurses on our team now. And 1 doctor, and she's also a 6-figure earner. So you guys, she is definitely someone to learn from and take tons of notes from, especially on this topic, which is the leadership ladder. So Angela, you can unmute yourself and take control.
You guys got some exciting stuff going on right now. Great. Thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate this. It's fun for me to talk about the leadership ladder. I just find it fascinating. And that's really kind of how, I'll give you a little quick backstory. So I started coaching 3 years ago, and it was just my coach-iversary on May 1st. And I started off really just as a discount, but honestly, I didn't even know what that was. Like, my coach was a friend of mine from college, and she was just like, this is what you need to do. And I was like, yeah, okay. I had no idea. She bamboozled me. And then was just like, you should really do this coaching thing. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I was really just kind of focused on myself at the time, because I was really in a difficult place, kind of dealing with some postpartum depression, had an extremely difficult child who never slept. My son didn't sleep through the night until he was well over 3. And I was just lost. And I was looking for a way out, and focusing in on my own health and working out really, really kind of brought me out of it. And when people started seeing me change and kind of come back to life, they were like, hey, what are you doing? I want to do that. And I was like, yeah, all right, sure, let's do this. So, and then my coaching thing kind of grew from there. It took me like 8 months to get to Emerald. And then probably it took me, I think it was 17 months before I got to Diamond. And I don't think I even really tried to make an effort until probably my 1-year coach anniversary. Like I didn't get it. I didn't really see what was going on. And then it was like rank. And like, it really kind of got in my head and like really made me feel kind of crappy about myself because like I could not make this rank thing happen to save my life. However, I was still building a really good business and I was making money. More so than some of the diamonds on my coaches, her other diamonds. Like I was her top volume producer. I was her top earner, but I was just an emerald or a ruby for a while and then back to an emerald. But even then when I got to diamond, and then I took a trip back to emerald for a while too. But my point is that I feel like in the Beachbody culture, we make diamond like this. We build it up to be this crazy, awesome place. And don't get me wrong. It's not that it's not great, but we build it up to be this amazing thing that like when you get there, you think it's going to start like raining money. And then you get there and you're like, that's it. Nothing major changes. And so unless you have a really solid business under you where you're cycling and you've got that volume going. And I think that's where I noticed I lost coaches around that point, and I never understood how these coaches would get to diamond and like walk away from it. And like, how could you walk away from a diamond business? I'm like busting my tail to get there. And it's because it's really not, they may have 8, 10, 12, 14 coaches, but they're not making anything from it, and they thought they were going to, so they just walk away. So I had an incredibly strong right leg where my volume was insane. My rollover volume was approaching 300,000. And I was like, you know what? Rank is great, but I really my husband has worked 2 jobs. He's a physician. He's an ER doctor. But he's worked 2 jobs or more since the day he graduated residency. So that's 10 years now. And it's wearing on him, like the crazy shifts and working so hard all the time. And I wanted to be able to support our family, like to kind of take that pressure off him a little bit so that he could let go of 1 job. And with my son and our difficulties, I haven't worked clinically as a nurse in like 3 years. And even when I was working before that, it was only 1 day a week. And I think I made like $90. It was terrible. So, I was like, my goal is income. So how do I get there? I was like, I just need to build the crap out of my left leg. And that's what I started doing. And so I did that all last year. And then I did get to 2-star, but I cycled through all that rollover volume that I had. And I just really built a nice, solid business. I don't have a ton of coaches. I don't have, I think for the income I make, you would look at my business and think that I would have a lot more than I do. And I don't, because I really just focused on the ones that really want to be there and how to get them to move on further and build a solid business under them. And through doing that last year, I was like, I saw this leadership ladder thing come out and I was like, I'm not learning anything else. I can really hang on to whatever it is what this rank does and that. And it was too much. And then I kind of stumbled upon it one day and I was like, okay, let me look at this. And then when I started reading it, I was like, man, this is awesome. This is like exactly kind of what I'm doing, but like gives me other things to markers to like work with, like things to like note and be like, okay, so it was easier to teach my team that because there was things for them to look for. So I'm going to share my screen, and I just have a couple slides that are just really basic. I'm not fancy. So, but it just gives you something to look at with what the different rungs are on the ladder. Let's see. Okay, can you see that? Okay, cool. All right, so I don't know, hopefully I don't know how to, there we go. I was trying to move the people. Okay, so these are the different rungs of the ladder. Business starter, team builder, team leader, organization leader, executive leader. Now listed under here are all the requirements that you need to meet in order to achieve that status. You have to do this within a month period. So all of these different markers are based on a total month accumulation. So for Business Starter, and I completely revamped my entire onboarding system where like when my new coaches sign up, they go into Business Starter training. Like, because all I want them to do is focus on how to hit Success Club, because that's the basis of your business. If you can learn how to do that, that's basically learning how to do the 3 vital behaviors. And I know there's 4 now, but for them, they just need 3 really. And it's like, that's the basics. If you focus on that at any point in their business, it's going to be okay. You know, I think we get things overcomplicated very easily because we have access to so much between YouTube and all these other things. The back office, we have so much training available to us that it's overwhelming. So I'm like, look here, this is what we're going to focus on. And when you hit Success Club 5, then we're going to move you on. But until then, we're not worried about Emerald or anything like that, because I need them to know how to do the basics. So to be a business starter, you just need to be hitting Success Club 5. And basically with that, you'll earn $100. And so you'll get that. And then it's something else that you get to celebrate for them. And it gives them this quick win and quick way for you to get some excitement and keep them being like, oh, this is great, this is fun, and encourage them to keep moving. With Team Builder, they need to be an Emerald, hit Success Club 5. This is where it gets fun, is they have to have 2 personally sponsored coaches that have at least 1 Success Club point. So, you know, they don't need to hit SC5, but they have to put at least 1 point up on the board. So hopefully that means they have at least 2 coaches that are working the business. And if they have that, then they're more likely to get to Diamond a lot faster because they have 2 coaches that are trying to work the business. And also your weak leg volume needs to total for the month 200 points. Then for Team Leader, you do need to be Diamond. You need to earn $1,000 a month. You need to hit Success Club 5. You need 4 coaches with 1 or more points on the board, and you need 5,000 volume on your weak leg. That's a big jump. But if you're following along with this and you're bringing, you're working on those personally sponsored coaches, teaching them how to hit Success Club, putting them into the Business Starter kind of training, you're going to get there. And then organizational leader and executive leader, 2 and 5 star, you guys can read that there. But, the number of PS coaches that are hitting Success Club or getting a Success Club point on the board goes up, and your weak leg volume goes up. And that's why this is also so great, because that focusing on that weak leg volume, that is going to help grow your income. And I think that's really, I don't want to say that like income's the end all be all of everything. I know, but I feel like it's a given that we decided to do this business because we like to help people. But it is a business, so we want to make money. And if you focus on the right things, you will be able to do that. Okay, so these are just some fun facts about the leadership ladder that I found in researching the back office and stuff. So this is kind of crazy. Only 1% of diamonds that are also a team leader will drop rank. So there's a lot of diamonds that are not team leaders, but the ones that are, the only 1% of them will drop rank. 35% of non-team leader diamonds will drop rank. I kind of think that might be a little on the low side. I feel like it would be higher, just in my personal experience and people that I know. So, and then advancing in rank, 53% of team leaders will advance, team leader diamonds will advance in rank, and this was within the next 10 months. And only 19% will rank advance within the next 10 months if they're not a team leader. And then this is another fun little fact here. And this is the average number of team leaders these various levels of coaches have on their team. So if you look at those that are in the top 10, they have at least 7.3 team leaders on their team every month. And all elite coaches have at least 1.6, so close to 2, every month on their team, which is something, really, I think that's interesting, because even to get to organization leader, you have to have 2 team leaders on your team. And, so that means a lot of elite coaches don't even have that, which I think is kind of crazy. All right. So that's it. That's it for my slides. Nothing fancy. If I can, how do I turn? Oh, wait, people are in the way. There we go. Okay. So I'm kind of short and sweet there, to the point. And usually it's easier just to ask questions and have you guys chime in, and then I can answer, because I know that's a lot. And especially if you've never even looked at the ladder before, you're kind of like, well, what is she talking about? But, you know, for me, I love this. And so I do recognition with my team for this. I make a big deal about it. I also recognize volume, the top 5 volume earners every single week, because that was like the theme for this year. Is I wanted my team to just focus on volume, because the majority of my team really needed to increase their income this year. So every week I do the top 5 earners, and, you know, they all go in for the month, go in for a drawing, and then I just pick a winner and they get a tank top, like a fitness tee. So, but it's working, and our team's volume keeps going up like crazy, which is awesome. So who has questions?
I mean, I first of all loved that. I love that you talk about how rank doesn't equal money, because I totally agree. I think, and I've seen coaches get to diamond and they make a $28 paycheck.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, because you don't have coaches working the business.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why like this leadership ladder and focusing on getting, you know, even 2 coaches to get 1 point on the board could be huge for you down the road, because you can have to focus on.
Yeah, because if they're getting those points, that means volume. And if they're creating volume, that's going to increase your cycle bonus. I mean, and the same thing for them. And it's like when you instill those habits into a new coach, that this is what you should be doing. And that's the trickle down effect. And that's, everybody talks about making something that's you can duplicate, you know. I mean, that's really the biggest, the most important thing. If you want to grow a solid business, is to duplicate that. Teaching people how to get in there. And it doesn't matter if they hit it or not, but if they're making the effort and they see that happening, it's going to more likely go in that direction.
Mm-hmm. So if you guys have questions, feel free to unmute yourself or put it in the chat box. Yeah, go ahead, Jess.
I just want to say that I totally related to your starting out as a coach full story. It took me forever to finally like kick myself in the butt and advance to diamond. Took me like 6 months to advance to emerald, and then a whole nother year to finally reach diamond, and I just lost it. I kept it for like the 6 weeks and then lost it because my coaches aren't working, obviously. Mm-hmm. I have like 2 strong ones on my right leg, and then I'm working my boyfriend's on the left leg, but it's still not, you know, whatever. But I just want to, like, what was your turning point to really kick yourself into gear and build?
Summit. Honestly, I went to Summit 2014, that year. And so it was in June. I think it was like the end of June that year. And it was in Vegas. And just the experience of Summit, I don't know who's been or hasn't been or is going. It's really awesome. Just to be surrounded by everybody. And there's great energy there. I really like the community of Beachbody. And so that was really great for me to get experience that. But the last night, they do the top 10 panel where they're recognizing all the top 10 coaches. And I know exactly what happened was Allie Upham was up on the stage, and I had started, I don't know if you guys know who like Steph Davies is or Nikki Whiting. They're all like these crazy Jen Richardson, like super successful coaches that are all in my grandma coaches like downline. It's the easiest way for me to relate it. But they all started like at the same time as me, and they were like kicking butt like by that year in, like it was insane. And I'm like, I'm an emerald, and they're like, I'm like a 7-star diamond, and I'm like, and then Allie Upham got on stage, and she was like in tears because, you know, here she was like over 4 years into her business, finally hitting top 10, finally finding her stride. And it just made me realize, you know what, just because it doesn't happen in the, you know, right away doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you. You're not going to get where you want to go. I'm not saying you want to be top 10. I don't want to be top 10. I just want to earn a certain amount of money to make life a little more comfortable around here and,
right.
Support my family. So you got to know what your goals are.
Oh yeah.
To get out of this. And I'm telling you, if you don't quit, if you just stay in it, you're going to get there, because the only people that don't get there are the ones that quit.
Right. Yeah. I don't even care if I lose. Like I'm a teacher's aide right now. And am hopefully getting a teaching job for summer school. But if I don't, I stay as an aide for summer school, and we're only allowed 2 days off. Otherwise we lose our summer school eligibility for next year.
Oh, wow.
Totally stupid. But, so if I have to take those 3 or 4 days off for summer this year to really kick myself, into gear, I'm going. I don't care.
Oh, seriously.
That's what
I mean, you're going to sweat to death, because Nashville is like, I thought I was going to die a couple points last year. Like, seriously, but it is awesome. Like, it's just such a great experience.
Okay.
It'll light that fire for sure, that you'll walk away from there and you'll be like, oh, game on. Like, I am in this. It's a good experience. Are you guys part of the Platinum Presenters downline? Like Christine Dwyer's? No, because she does like her own little summit in like the end of the year. And so we get to go to that. And it's pretty awesome, because it's like that you have summit mid-year, and then you have that kind of the end of the year, and it kind of keeps that fire burning. Like, really, anytime you have a chance to get to a live event, even if it's just a super Saturday,
right.
Go, because that's what's going to fuel you up and fire you up to keep going.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? If you guys are thinking of some, I actually have a few. So you mentioned that you first add your coaches into, I think you called it like a business starter training. Mm-hmm. Have training for each rung?
Yeah.
You do? So as soon as they get to business starter, then they go to the next one?
Then they go to team builder, and then they go to team leader. Yeah. Yeah, I stopped at team leader. I'll build on later, but like I got those done. And I was like, running your own team, it's fine. No, I wouldn't leave them on their own, but that's like the nuts and bolts of it. And it's really, it's the crazy thing is it's doing wonders for my downline. My PS coaches, the newer ones I'm bringing on are doing great with it, but the ones that have been around for a while, they're just, whatever. But my downline is rocking it with this. Like they get in there and they focus on the things, and they're just kind of plowing through it. It's great.
Awesome.
If you go into the Coach Online office under news and training, there is you can go, I forget what the tab is called, but there is one that says leadership ladder on the left. I think it says emerald, diamond, star diamond or something like that, but there's a leadership ladder tab. And then if you click on that, it will tell you basically training to do. It's okay, for business starter, these are the bullet points that you need to be focusing on. Here are some things you can use for training, and it does it for each rung.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of took from that and other training that I have and things and kind of matched it up and made my spiel.
Awesome. I like that. I know a lot of coaches have, for some reason, do you guys hear an echo? Do you hear it now? No. Oh. Man, I don't know what's happening. Hold on, I'll type it in the chat. That's kind of annoying.
Wait, maybe I'll mute while you talk.
Okay. Do you guys hear an echo now? No? Okay. So I think one question that coaches may be having that they're not asking is, how do you get a coach to get at least one Success Club point? Or how do you just get coaches working on your business? So what would be your tip or tips for them to get coaches to work the business?
Okay. This is really hard because you cannot force anyone to do anything in this business. I have learned that the hard way because I've put so much time and energy to some of my coaches that I know, like I believe in so much, and I know they could be so good at this, and I know that they need it, and they just don't do it. So that's one part. The other thing I've been doing more recently was I work with like a business coach, and we were talking about different coaches of mine and ones that are struggling and ones that I keep investing all this time and energy into. And he's like, Ange, you got to kind of let them go. He's like, if they're not producing, they're not doing the work as much as they say that they are, they want to, they're not showing you, you got to let them go and move on. Because that's why my recruiting, like I haven't brought in enough coaches. I've been focusing so much on these ones that I have and trying to force them into this. So what I decided to do was before I just cut them all loose, I put them all in a message thread. And I was just like, okay, guys, let's run a challenge group together. It's going to be 21 days. We'll do this. And just kind of like created a little like mini team, but just in a message thread with them. And I was like, okay, before we get started, anybody doesn't want to be here, here's how you mute. Here's how you get out of here. No offense taken. Totally fine if you're not ready for it. But if you are, let's do this. And shockingly, most of them have stayed in the thread, and it's becoming their own little accountability with each other, the ones that want to work. And it's ones are shocking me that I've like talked to a million times trying to bring them back to life. And this seems to be working. I don't know if it's because there's other ones that are in there that are newer and they're like diving right in and pushing the older ones to kind of like wake up and get with it. But that's kind of if you really want to give it a go, then I would say try something like that. But honestly, if you're putting time and energy into people and they're not producing, you just have to move on. Like you can't be wasting all of your time and on the ones that don't do the work.
And keep recruiting. Find those that will do the work.
Yes. Recruiting is like, I just heard the best analogy is like, this business is, I'm totally going to screw this up. This business is like a tree, and recruiting is the roots. And then I forget what the trunk is. I don't know, your team. I don't know, but like the low hanging fruit are your coaches. And like when a bad storm comes by, it's going to shake it and the ones are going to fall off. But if you still have a solid foundation in recruiting, the tree is going to stay standing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get that? I mean,
that makes sense.
I knew I was totally going to mess it up, but
I mean, that's why you're so strong. It's like you have such a solid foundation of people working the business. You're not 15-star, but you're a 6-figure earner.
Really, I've been hanging at 1-star for a while now, just because I've got 2 diamonds on my left and none on my right. So, but
yeah.
But I'm making a fantastic income.
Yeah, so that goes to show you guys that you don't need
all the fancy. Because here's the thing too, it's like when you look at what you can max out at, like at Diamond, you can max out at a cycle bonus at $2,000 a week. So I mean, I tell everybody it's like build to Diamond, just flip flop back and forth, and then once you get there, see where your volume is, and then start building to cycle that out. And if you're not maxing out your cycle, don't stress. I mean, really, don't kill yourself trying to make somebody get to Diamond or make somebody, just keep recruiting, keep doing your basics, keep inviting, keep hitting Success Club, keep taking care of yourself, and the rest of it will work its way out.
Yeah, perfect. Any last questions, you guys? No?
You guys are quiet.
I know. Usually there's a lot more questions. All right. Well, thank you so much, Angela, for hopping on. I really think this was eye-opening for a lot of coaches, old and new. And I think they all have different goals that they might start focusing on instead of just rank, other ways that they can improve and feel proud of on their way to whatever their ultimate goal is. So thank you so much for hopping on. And thank you for joining our team call tonight. Have a good night.
Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.